Hey guys, Wolvie here. This is RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 14, Part 2 for the channel. And I kind of have this particular screenshot here for a reason. This is why Schnee holding Blake's weapon during a particular scene in the chapter. And what I think about this, the symbolism, that sort of thing. Now, the usual disclaimer applies. Any opinion in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. Now, the way I am angling this video, all that stuff, is the Volume 6 poster art. Now, it kind of goes into connection with the image above, as you see here, and the word that comes out of Cinder's mouth. Like I said, the final word, it comes out of Cinder. She says the word checkmate. Now, you see here that Weiss is clearly holding Gamble's shroud, which is Blake's weapon. And man, is Weiss not happy right now because certain things may have been revealed in this sense. Now, the reason why I am revealing the Volume 6 poster art is it's a very specific reason, because for those of you who know the Chapter 8 volume art, you have two characters looking at each other. Now, you're kind of wondering, okay, no one saw that coming. Now, the thing is with Blake and Weiss. Now, the thing is, those two characters, they face each other at two different poster arts. The one in Volume 6 here, and the Volume 8 poster art. Those are the two characters looking at each other. Now, a little further evidence see here that for people who actually ship monochrome or checkmate, because it's one and the same in the sense, because you're talking checkmate, it's like you had two different colors. One of them being black, the other being white. And, of course, checkmate monochrome is Blake and Weiss. Now, the Chapter 6 of the Volume 6 poster art, the Volume 8 poster art, you see Blake and Weiss at both posters looking at each other. It's just like, and you see with Weiss, like in both cases, it's a yearning, longing sort of thing. Now, we can't really get a gauge on Blake, but but we do know that in both poster arts, Blake is in fact looking at Weiss. She's not looking at Yang. Now, the whole history behind that thing we do know with Weiss and Blake. It's like the reason why I referred to the first the Black trailer, which precedes Volume 1, is because we do know the whole thing with Blake and Adam. They escape Alice with a bunch of dust. Now, again, to reiterate, we do know Volume 1, Chapter 15, Weiss reveals that she saw somebody escape Alice with a bunch of dust. And which we do know Blake's reaction. She was freaking out because I'm like, she didn't realize that she and Adam were not as alone as they thought. Now, in the official companion, Adam and Blake, and I'm just saying this because it's in the official companion, that Blake and Adam had some type of format of a romantic thing before the show began. Again, it's mentioned in the official companion. So, with that, so we do know that Blake and Weiss had some format of an indirect history from before the show began. Now, the thing is with Weiss, I don't think she ever said anything. She let Blake go. And we know that Blake and Weiss meet one chapter before Blake and Yang. Because if you look at Volume 1, Chapter 2, is that, they had that little mini standoff. It's just like looking at each other where Ruby's busting up laughing. And this is pretty much, she couldn't believe that Blake was standing up for her. Although that Blake and Ruby, they didn't really like properly interact until Volume 1, Chapter 3. So the thing is, do I feel monochrome has a chance of remaining canon? I won't be surprised. But I do hold monochrome as the same standards as Bumblebee, because it's like, there is a chance that Blake and Weiss could become canon, but they don't remain. And the reason why that is just like, I mean, there's not a whole lot of interaction between Blake and Weiss, but there's not much and there's also not much that's actually said, but it's more so through Blake's actions. Because you have to remember, at the end of Volume 5, this is where Blake, comes in surprise. The first person she asks is like, "Are you hurt?" She knew there was like a bit of a bizarre marking on Weiss. So she knew she was talking to, I knew that question was, this when, let me rephrase this. I knew when Blake asked, "Are you hurt?" at the end of Volume 5, I knew that was at Weiss. And then the whole thing where RWBY's like, checkmate. So, like I said, I do feel that Monochrome is probably going to get some more, gain some more ground because of the poster art and of this particular scene. Because it's like, the thing is, I think the whole thing with that black trailer, I think it's like, there you go. And then the whole thing with Volume 7 where it's like, Blake was like this, trying to get a gauge on Yang, and then but Yang was like this, and by that, her head was turning down in a way. Meaning that I think that Yang might not be interested, so, and this goes into the whole thing in Volume 7 where, and this is that discussion between Ren and Nora, meaning that one's not going to reciprocate the other's feelings. And I mean, I won't be surprised either way if it's Blake not returning Yang's feelings or Yang not returning Blake's feelings. And part of that is because of Volume 1, Chapter 3, where, Yang's like, oh, like this. I can't do that sound, but you guys know what the sound she makes when she looks at all the boys. And then one of the poster artists that Yang had when they were decorating their dorm room in Beacons, I think it's a boy band. But yeah. But it remains to be seen. It comes down to, certain aspects at the end of the day. Now, I'm not going to keep this too long. I mean, I do eventually have to get ready for work, all that stuff, because I'm in my prescription glasses, not my contacts. So let me get into this. But yeah, I do feel that this might be a sign where it's Blake and Yang becoming canon. Part of it is the poster art for Volume 6 and 8. Another reason is this right here, where Weiss is using Blake's weapon the only way she knows how. And I mean, it's and the fact that the varying monochrome moments in Volume 7, it's it might be becoming a stronger case for them. I mean, there is equally strong cases for Bumblebee, but I don't think Bumblebee will remain canon. And there is a difference between becoming canon and remaining canon. And excellent examples, again, I have to go into the Final Fantasy franchise, is if you look at Final Fantasy IV, that's the only known case where something that becomes canon remains canon. Because if you look at Final Fantasy VI and 8, we do know that in Final Fantasy VIII, Squall and Renoa become canon. But it's left open-ended as to whether or not they remain canon. And you could also argue the same case with Celeste and Locke. With the whole idea of becoming canon versus remaining canon. Now, Final Fantasy 15, I mean, that is a bit of a question mark as well. As were they ever really canon between Noctis and Luna Freya as opposed to remaining canon? And that sort of thing I am going to be done with in that regard. And I am actually done with this particular video. With Wolvie here signing off, I will catch you all on the flip side.